The year was 2095. The world's brightest minds had gathered at the Institute of Time Research, led by Dr. Olivia Hart, Dr. Leo Park, and Dr. Emma Novak. This team had been working on time travel for years. Finally, they had completed the Quantum Chronos, a time machine that made it possible to travel to the past using quantum waves. "All right, team," Olivia said one morning as they gathered around the machine. "Today, we make history." For their first trial, the team chose a small task that wouldn't alter the course of history. Attending a musical performance in the 1920s, Olivia, Leo, and Emma successfully traveled with the Quantum Chronos and arrived at the designated time. As planned, they found themselves in New York in the year 1923, in a famous theater. Amid the enchantment of the musical performance, they reveled in the excitement of being a part of the past. However, Leo, caught up in the excitement, accidentally stepped in the wrong place and broke a chair on the stage. The team dismissed this minor mistake, thinking everything would be fine once they returned to the future. When they returned, the sight that greeted them in the lab was shocking. The world had changed drastically. A small mistake had dramatically altered the course of history. Breaking the chair had affected the performance of Claire Evans, a famous musical artist of that time, which in turn had changed her career. As a result, the music industry had taken a different path, and the cultural fabric of society had been completely transformed. Olivia stared at the screen in horror. "How could this happen?" she murmured to herself. "How can breaking a chair change the whole world?" Dr. Hart decided to go back in time again to correct the mistake. However, each intervention led to new and unexpected outcomes. History was continuously changing like a domino effect. Leo tried to change the outcome of a war, only to trigger another war elsewhere in the world. Emma, in an attempt to save the works of a famous scientist, ended up disrupting the development of modern technology. One night, as Olivia sat alone in the lab, she buried her hands in her hair and thought, "Every step we take makes things worse. Maybe we should never have tampered with the flow of time." The team decided to make one last attempt. Their goal was to completely undo the initial mistake and restore the natural flow of history. They used the Quantum Chronos one more time to return to the original musical performance. This time, they were much more careful. Olivia, Leo, and Emma carefully repaired the broken chair, restoring the stage to its original condition. "We must leave no trace this time," Emma whispered. They managed to return without leaving any trace. When they arrived back in the lab, the world had returned to its original state. The flow of history had been restored. The team deeply understood the dangers and responsibilities that came with time travel. They decided to seal the Quantum Chronos and stop their time travel projects to avoid reliving the consequences of tampering with time. Dr. Hart, Dr. Park, and Dr. Novak emphasized the importance of respecting the flow of time and the natural course of history, drawing lessons from their experience. This adventure became a turning point in the scientific world, serving as a cautionary tale about the perils of time travel. Olivia vowed to her team that they would never again interfere with the flow of time. "History must run its own course," she said. "We should only be observers."